So we talked about articulation. Let's talk about the registration. Okay, how the piece could be registered. Of course, the most obvious thing is in the pedals. Since this is orchestral and choral piece, the bass line, of course, was played always with the violone or contrabass or double bass, Baroque double bass, which always plays an octave lower. On the organ, then we need to imitate this also, and we need to use 16-foot, maybe soft 16-foot sound like sub-bass, and then 8-foot, something like that. On my organ, doesn't matter, I only have this 8-foot sound, but if you have a larger church organ or concert organ, then you can practice with correct registration or perform with correct registration. Practice perhaps silently because it might be too loud, right? The solo stops. By the way, if the pedal needs to be 16 and 8, what about the hands? I suggest you can use flutes 8 and 4 for the accompanimental ritornellos, okay, sometimes even 3 voices on the same manual, like that. On the same manual. But once the chorale melody comes in, the cantus firmus, then you move to the solo manual, solo division, and you need sort of different registration for that. It could be stronger, maybe principal sound 8 and 4, or could be reeds, okay, for this melody. Okay, because it is in the left hand, not in the right hand, then it really has to be considerably louder than the accompaniment of voices, because all 3 voices or 2 voices in the right hand will be quite strong. Then you need a reed, for example, oboe, for example, in the left hand to enunciate this melody. Even with left hand, accompanimental figures on one manual, on the swell division, for example. So that's the thing about registration. Okay, we talked about now all the important things, but we left now with the main problem. How do we practice this piece? How do we learn? How do we master this piece? Okay, this piece is really worth mastering and you can play this for the rest of your life because it's such a beautiful and masterful work. So the best perhaps way, my favorite way to practice is in this way. First of all, I subdivide this piece into shorter fragments, maybe 4 measures at a time, like that. Okay, and if I play and make some mistakes, then perhaps my fragment is too long, maybe 2 measures, okay? Maybe until here. Let's pretend this is our first fragment, and we will practice in the way that we learn each voice separately first. These 2 measures, of course. We heard the soprano voice, let's hear the alto with correct articulation and fingering, of course. Always we have to play 3 times in a row correctly this line, these 2 measures, alto voice. When it's done, I go to my left hand to the tenor voice. 3 times in a row. And then the pedals, with pedal preparation, of course. Okay, write in, if you don't have written in already your fingering and pedaling, especially the pedaling. I suggest you write in right from the beginning. Do not use the heels on the pedals. Use only toes, because it's a Baroque piece. Normal Baroque pedaling is done with toes. Sometimes with alternate fingering, alternate pedaling, left hand, left right, left right, left right. Sometimes with the same foot. It really depends on the line of the music. For example, I play left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Okay, these 2 measures. And pencil it in, of course, it's very helpful.